Hi, welcome back channel, TrainStation 2. Alright, managed to climb to second after much struggle, but I believe it won't last long. This is the second competition of this Summer Games event. So this opponents here is quite tough. Unexpectedly, there are two very strong opponents. That's always leading the first two sport, and that is third. It's only at the tail end of this video you watch me so-called very luckily climb to the second spot, but like I said, it wouldn't last long. Gradually they will catch up because they are really fast. Every time they catch up, they'll be like 50 to 100 EP ahead. Probably they go to bed. That's why I managed to catch up only to the second spot for a very short moment. So like I said, a lot of preparation work goes in place where you fill your items in the factory. Make sure you have those that are taking a long time to build in the output tray, whereas the input tray would need to contain basically those items that can convert back to raw materials. Like for example, if you really need nails, you make sure you have lots of chairs ready. You need saw blades. Make sure you have a lot of those tables in the queue order. So when you cancel that order, you get back so-called your timber, of course, more importantly, your saw blade, and of course your nails. Alright, like I said, this is pathetic. The 2% bonus that the developer is giving probably is trying and error. This is the first time they're doing this, so it's a total failure on the developer end, because that 2% bonus doesn't mean anything at all. So people who are in the same team as me, the football, because of passion, they decided to choose football. It's sad to say we're going to lose this second round and probably all the rounds in this event, because when the game developer, when they have set this bonus, probably is when they develop this event itself. So it's very difficult, probably in the midst of the event, for them to fine-tune the bonus percentage. Having a 2% bonus is pathetic, and it doesn't work at all. So again, like I said, it's important for a developer to test it out on their own before they actually implement something new. Most of the time they're using games like this or events like this as guinea pig. Eventually when people complain, then they receive feedback and then they try to improve again. But like I said, this bonus doesn't really make sense. It shouldn't be 2%. If they want it, they should hit a higher percentage, probably 20% bonus or something like that. You're going to test it out multiple times whether their algorithm actually works. So if their algo doesn't work, they will know what's the problem. But without testing, straight away they implement just a 2% flat for the third and fourth spot. That is really a total flaw by itself. Gradually you'll realize what I meant. Eventually when the football will be the last and the swimming will be first, you'll be consistent throughout the 6 rounds, because the fact that people at swimming are probably really active and there will be a lot of players there, whereas football may not be the popular one and people may not be that active. You will basically be comprised of the same group throughout the whole event for 6 rounds. So even if you give a 2% bonus, that won't help at all. So developer really, I'm hoping if they can on their end fine-tune it in the third round, fourth round, probably the one will break while we're having competition there. But that said, it will be very tough for them to then implement it across again. Alright, so that's how things work, but that doesn't really affect us, okay? Generally what's going to happen is that for every single round we'll be losing like 50 event summons, okay? The top spot is 100, whereas the fourth position is 50. Alright, I'll speak later. Alright, so you can see here, busy collecting timber. Gradually what we're trying to do is to fulfill that timber request. And of course, timber helps you to store nails and saw blade, as I mentioned earlier, by having in the input tray the orders of tables and chairs that will help you store nails and saw blade when you cancel that order and get you back. Alright, so always try your best to keep your event factory busy round the clock, because you do need those stuff eventually. I do see that in this event they're giving a mixture of items, requests of those non-event items and event items. But like I said, most of the time they will fall back to the event items, because after all, this is the event itself. It doesn't make sense to keep asking for non-event items during an event itself. But that said, it is quite tiring for people with a very small event factory like 2 slots. It would basically be very difficult for you to keep on producing items that require. So I would request that if you could spend that 110 gems to increase 2 more slots in your factory, so that you have 4 slots to play with and eventually able to cope with that request. Do understand that you know, some of the items is really taking that so long for you to so-called create. So you got to bear this in mind. Something that I realize is very common in this event is asking for milk. So if you have spare time, collect some of those kettles and then keep on building that milk inventory. Salt likewise is also being asked for, so it's a bit odd. They're just focusing on one factory to request for items. So I'm hoping they're asking for items that is non-produce of factories, like direct raw materials from the steel factory and so on. Alright, so this is the strong opponent I'm talking about, and this is the other one. It's quite strange. The company value is not high, but yet they are comparatively better than this guy here, which is quite disappointing. This guy here is so much higher in terms of company value, but is doing so poorly in this competition, probably without much effort put in. Likewise for this guy. So sometimes it's a matter of effort, not only the company value. The company value is just for you to assess how competitive your components are, but again, everything goes with hard work regardless of your company value. For people who have high company value, it just means that probably they've been winning a lot. Likewise, they have been completing a lot of those train upgrades to the max. So then, in other words, their trains are really powerful, of high capacity, and probably have a huge type, also called ranges of type of trains. So with that, it's easy for them to basically deliver items. Probably every single time they deliver, they could finish 2 to almost 3 jobs. That gives them a benefit for them. Alright, so constant upgrade of the trains is very important. What I'm doing now is to upgrade trains on my region, legendary to the fullest. Every single region except just now the region you saw, legendary has been upgraded to the maximum. And try to upgrade that event once, because that is the one that gives you 80 capacity. And why so? Because you need to collect gold. And with that high capacity event train, you can collect gold by itself. And I'm not forgetting, like you can see here just now, the 5 billion technique. You need the ship trade to get those blue maps in order to keep on growing the population and increase your warehouse capacity. Just like your train capacity, both of them are equally important, so make sure you have that. And of course, all this can't work out without parts. How do you then get parts? Is really sometimes you could hunt for parts through dismantling. So look out for trains that really not required at all. Then you can dismantle them and then convert to parts, and eventually you know, you're going to just keep on going. That said, sometimes you'll be thinking, should I be saving the parts to bring forward to the next region? Yes, of course, but of course that means that you're going to sacrifice your current region trains. Alright, this is the failure I'm talking about just now. The bonus of 2% is pathetic, it won't work, but that doesn't really matter. What's matter is basically your own performance. You can see here, it's just very near 50 and keys. It doesn't matter, okay? If you're losing, it's just losing 50. That's the worst you can get. But if you lose in terms of personal contribution, there's a few factors in that case. Alright, so you gotta work on that. Alright, so now make sure you have all the items that are requested. As I mentioned earlier, collect those coins whenever possible. When they appear every 4 hourly, collect them so that you have a good storage of your save of maybe 100 to 200,000 coins or gold coin with you. So that will give you really useful, especially when you move on to future regions. You won't feel it in region 1 and 2, but you start to feel it in region 3 onwards. Alright, so here we're trying to maintain the 2nd position, but I said earlier, it won't be long. Very quickly it will be overtaken, and more importantly, just gotta keep on going. There's no better things than hard work. Make sure you do that. and of course you gotta plan properly. Alright, thank you for watching. I wish you good luck in this second competition. Goodbye.